Hey guys, so here's my dog. By the way, look at my dog. My dog. I don't know if it's okay. Let's do some CDs. Open here some CDs real quick. Okay, anyways, let's go here guys. So that really hurt my arm, the chair, or whatever. I don't know. Sorry. I'll live. Okay, let's just go through this. I gotta make sure I did this. I already did Led Zeppelin's first album, right? I gotta make sure I did, and I feel like I might not have done that. But yeah, alright, this is the first album by Led Zeppelin. It's just called Led Zeppelin, or Led Zeppelin 1. And this is probably my third favorite released by Led Zeppelin. It was my favorite for a short amount of time, but yeah, this is still a really great album though. It's probably, I'd say this is arguably their heaviest, I'd probably say. If you like the heavier side of Led Zeppelin, you probably enjoy this more than 4 or 2, but it's still, but it's just my third favorite though. But it's still a good album though. Alright, let me see here. Let's see what else we got. Okay, here's a. Alright, so this is The Shape of Punk to Come by Refused. And this is my favorite group from Sweden, I'd probably say. And they're a post-hardcore group. And they're also, this is also one of my favorite punk albums of all time, I'd say. This is a fantastic album. And even though I'm not too big on the new metal move, I mean, there's still a handful of new metal albums I like, but this album was kind of a big influence on a lot of new metal groups, including Korn and Linkin Park, I believe. Well, no, Linkin Park for sure, maybe not Korn, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, this is a really great group. They kind of combine all different types of elements with punk, with like electronic. There's some tracks that have some electronic music influence, some tracks that have some jazz influence, and all that stuff. And the title of the album is Shape of Punk to Come, is a reference to an album by Ornette Coleman called The Shape of Jazz to Come. And some of the tracks also have a lot of metal influences. Like some of these tracks almost sound more like metal than they do punk, at least to me. But this is a great album, though. This is one of my favorite punk albums of all time. It's a classic punk album. All right, now let me see here. Sadly, the group doesn't really drop a lot of other super interesting albums, though. But that one's a masterpiece, though. Definitely need to check out. Yeah, I enjoy hardcore punk music. So, all right, hold on. 1 sec. Hold on. All right, not gonna do this one. This is like a greatest hits MCR, 1920 minutes greatest hits. Not gonna do that one. All right. Okay. Guess I'll do this. Okay, so this is obviously only the booklet, but this is Alice in Chains' self-titled album, and let's see here. But I guess we're only gonna do the booklet because I don't know where the CD or the tray's at. But yeah, well, this is a good album though. Let's say this is probably their heaviest album. They kind of had some sludge metal influence with this. This is one of my dad's CDs though, but yeah, this is Alice in Chains' self-titled record called Alice in Chains. Okay. It's just in this purple thing. Assuming this is what it originally came in. No, this is. Alright, now we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this Marilyn Manson album because this album's not very good. And sadly, this is the only Marilyn Manson album I own because I actually really like some albums by him, like Mechanical Animals and Antichrist Superstar and Hollywood, but this album's not that great. The only reason I have it is because I really love this song called We Are the New Shit. I remember I really loved that song, but I don't know, the album as a whole wasn't that great, so I'm going to put this in the pile of albums I'm not too into anymore. Alright, let's see. What else we got? Hold on 1 sec. Alright, let me see. Is everything else cool? Here. Okay. This is another Rolling Stones album I've never listened to. This is just one that my mom's dad got for me, but I've never listened to this Rolling Stones album. But I'll give it a listen. If it's one I don't enjoy, then I'll just toss it. But I'm not sure. I never listened to this one, so might as well go for it. Can't really say a whole lot because I never actually listened to this album. But oh crap! Oop. So I'll give that a listen. I don't like it. I'll just toss it, I guess. All right. Ow. Okay. Here's This is one of the new metal albums that I actually enjoy. Still, this is Volume 3. The Subliminal Verses by Slipknot. And this was actually, I remember this was my favorite Slipknot album for a while when I was a kid. And it was for a really long time, but I think I'd prefer their brand new album, the We Are Not Your Kind, over this now. But this is a really great album too. It's their, I'd say this is their lightest, but it surprisingly actually works pretty well. Surprisingly, there's some really good songs on this, like Before I Forget, and like Vermilion, Duality, and all that stuff. And also, I believe this album doesn't have any cuss words in it. So it's the first album by them to not feature a parental advisory sticker. So, and it worked somehow. Yeah, they did pretty good on that album, I thought. All right, let's see here. Oh, what the fuck? Ah, I'm gonna hit my nose. I don't know what that was, but. All right, this is a Red Hot Chili Peppers album I have never listened to, and I kind of have a feeling. I think this is one of their first albums, I believe. I'm not like super keen with the Red Hot Chili Peppers discography, but I'm gonna do this because I've never listened to it. But I kind of have a feeling it's not going to be a very great one. I don't know, but I don't know. I'll go through it anyways, I guess. But my favorite album by them is probably Blood Sugar Sex Magik. But I remember one of the guitarists of the group made a solo album that was better than all their studio albums. But Blood Sugar Sex Magik is still a pretty good album. That's my favorite by them. But I don't know. But never listened to this, so I can't. One of my mom's friends was giving away CDs, and that was one of them. And she just gave that to me. That's the only reason I own it. Okay, let's see here. This one is the Smile Sessions by the Beach Boys. This is a little CD box set. I think it's the only CD box set I own. But, and I don't know if I also own the vinyl of this, but I don't know if you've heard of the Smile Sessions, but it's basically there was an album that was supposed to come out after the Pet Sounds, their most well-known release, kind of considered to be their best, and it ended up being, they ended up canceling the project because a lot of the group's members weren't getting along, and Brian Wilson was getting really hard into drugs, and members just really weren't getting along, and they just did so many different renditions, they did the same songs over and over again. They eventually just quit the project, but eventually in 2011 though they ended up releasing the entire sessions of the album, and the album ended up getting somewhat properly released, I guess you could say. And they released the entire sessions of it, and I believe this is they had one sessions where it's just the Heroes and Villains songs then over and over again. But hold on, yeah. So I actually prefer Smile over Pet Sounds because I guess maybe I just like a lot of. I'm a really big fan of progressive pop music, and that's kind of something that's incorporated a lot in this album. And it's also it's definitely easily their most experimental release, I'd probably say too. I don't know what Riley's getting upset about. Hold on, let me take this out so it's easier to get through these. Okay, so this one is Selected Ambient Works Volume 2 by Aphex Twin. This is his. Let me see what. Riley, what's wrong, bud? What's wrong? You okay? What's wrong, man? so this one is Selected Ambient Works Volume 2 by Aphex Twin. This is his second studio album, and this is a very long album. This one is somewhere around 2 hours. It's over 2 hours long, like 2.5 hours long, I believe. Somewhere almost near 3 hours. But this is a very, very long album, and it's a lot more ambient and a lot less techno and electronic than the first Selected Ambient Works. And this is one of his most popular releases too. And although I can kind of see where people are getting through, I think this is a great album, but I don't consider it to be one of his. Well, maybe I do consider it to be one of his best, but I wouldn't rank it up with his top 3 like some other people would. Maybe it's because I'm a bigger fan of his crazier works, but this is a good release anyway, though. Maybe it's kind of a bit more difficult to get into. It's a lot creepier and more atmospheric and than more minimalistic, I guess, than a lot of his other releases. But there's some really good songs on this too, and it's kind of one you would really need to focus on really well. I think it's supposed to almost give you a sensation of lucid dreaming. Like it's more one that's like an experience, not really or something like that. I think is what some people say. But hold on. That's all we're gonna do for today. It looks like we're getting close to the end of my CD collection. I expect it to be done in the next 2 or 3 videos we'll do. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. Hope you have a great day. Goodbye.